Hello everybody, it's the Cursing Seamstress. I think my lighting is kind of bad. It's early in the morning. I am ready for work except for putting on my shoes and walking out the door. I'm picking up my grandson. He is in an early college program, early high school program. So he's at the same college where I am, which is wonderful. So I get to take him today. Where have I been? I apologize. I've been busy. I've been sewing every single day. I've been sewing a lot. I've made a ton of clothing for myself, for my daughter, for a lady, a little girl at church, and some household items for my daughter, which is what I'm going to show you today. Just briefly, if you can hear the congestion, I had COVID, and I was going to talk a little bit about that. If you don't want to hear it, you can fast forward. It's just, the same old story. But I was vaccinated. I never got the boosters, but I was vaccinated in the very, very beginning, and managed to evade it, even though my daughter and her family got it. Some of my co-workers got it, other family members. But I actually thought that if I ever did get it, that I would have a really mild case and maybe wouldn't even know that I had contracted it. But yeah, I don't think my case was a mild case. The newer version of it doesn't seem to affect the lungs, which is scary. So Tuesday, I got home from work. Today is Wednesday, I think it's the 10th. And so last Tuesday I got home from work and I noticed that my throat was really scratchy and that I sort of started feeling like my head was filling up with fluid, little sniffly and maybe headachy. Well, anyway, it was enough to make me test myself before I went to work the next morning. So that evening before I went to bed, I did test myself. I had the 4-pack government issued test that I don't know if it's still available for people, but I did do the test and it was negative. So I went to work the next day, and boy, was I sick at work. My head was just full of fluid, had a headache. My eyes were doing something weird, probably because of the pressure behind them, but it was as though if I moved my eyes really quickly or if I moved them too far left, right, or up, it made me feel like I was going to faint. Of course, I wasn't going to, but things like backing up in my car, having to look over my head, over my shoulder, just made me feel really weird. Again, sore throat, cough, and then on to chills, sweating, fever. The highest my fever got was 101.8, I think. And so during the course, I took ibuprofen and Benadryl, which seemed to help me. And so now what I'm left with, I was out of quarantine Monday morning and went back to work. So I only missed one day of work, which was Thursday. And so that was okay. And so I'm just left with that still fluid that's kind of locked up in my head. But otherwise, I feel fine. I had a good past 2 days at work and probably will have another good day at work today. So let me just tell you, box cushions are not easy to make. I've made them before for myself, and it's interesting to try to match up the band to the corners of your fabric of the panels. I got this fabric, by the way, at Walmart. It's outdoor fabric, waterproof kind of stuff. It's a blue on blue green and yellow. It's just lovely. My daughter loves it. This is for her. She has a glider, and it has cushions on the bottom and then cushions on the back. This is one of the back cushions. They go this way. They're much smaller than the big ones. They still have the band around it. If you go to online fabric store and search for on YouTube and search for how to make box cushions, they have a very good video, and I did use that to help me. And they had some really good things to point out. And I think one of the biggest things is that when you get to a corner here and you're trying to match a corner to a corner, that you clip into that corner before you make that turn. And that makes all the difference. It really does. It makes a nice crisp corner. I initially started serging all the sides because this shreds a bit. You can kind of see how it shreds. So you will want to, if you use this kind of fabric, you will want to serge the edges. In the beginning, I was serging beforehand, and then I kind of switched to serging afterward. I guess it really doesn't matter what you do. The key thing in making these cushions is you have to find a way, if you're going to make washable, removable covers, you have to find a way to put a zipper in. And that just means cutting out part of your band wider so that you can put a zipper in. And once a zipper is in, it should be the same depth, I guess, as the remaining parts of the band. So, and it does not matter, it doesn't matter if your zipper is longer than the side of your cushion. So your zipper can be longer than this, and that way, and you'll see it on store-bought cushions where the zipper kind of wraps around, and that's fine. The only thing when you do that is you have to make sure that when you go to match your corners, that because this piece is longer, that you're not matching this corner to the corner on one of your panels, because this will end, your corner will actually be in closer. So you just need to put a mark where that is, and make sure that that mark continues onto the other side of the band, because that's where it gets tricky, is you're going to be matching the other panel to this band also. So you want to make sure, if you were to match one panel, if you were to match one panel to right here, and the other panel you were to forget, not have made that mark and matched it here, you would have an absolutely wonky cushion cover. It would not work. So just be aware of that. So anyway, you do need a zipper that is at least the width of your cushion, wherever the zipper is going to go. That's pretty important. And that's all I have to say. So far they've turned out okay. Some of the bottom cushions I made were a little big. And sometimes it's hard to know. You kind of want a tight-fitting cover for your cushion. And one of the cushions that I had did not have, when I took the old cover off, it didn't have any batting wrapped around the foam. So, and I had some here from making quilts. And so I wrapped it in some batting, and that helped to make up for some of the looseness. But so far all the others did have that batting around the foam, so it worked out okay. That's all I have today. I think later I will come back and show you, I'll put in some pictures of the cushions so you can see what they look like. I wouldn't be afraid of making box cushions. Watch that how to make box cushions from online fabric store. Again, that was really helpful. They actually take you from cutting the foam, and I didn't have to do that because these were pre-existing cushions that just needed new covers. So that's it. I'm going to go. Thank you for hanging in there with me. I will be back soon. Again, I've had plenty of time to sew, but very little time to video and edit, partly because I've been lazy, partly because during the summer I have to be at work earlier, so sometimes I've gotten at work as early as 6:45, and but anyway, so I should be able to do a little bit better, and I will talk at you later. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.